to stop everything that you're doing. Because what I'm about to show you is going to make you understand any and everything in law. You will no longer be confused. You will understand what is going on. I didn't understand what was going on. I was just like you, blaming the government, doing all kind of things. I was right where you're at until someone made me understand the difference between public and private. And this right here is where how you're going to understand what your rights and duties are by understanding how the law is mapped out. Okay, I actually read a book that kind of like impressed this on my mind. It's a book called 1L, and it's written by a man named Scott Turow. And in that book, he outlines 1L means first year law student, and he outlined in his first year law school at Harvard what he had to go through, and just kind of like, and that's kind of like what I patterned my studies after. I had to study, look up words. They couldn't come into class and not know every word in the case by memory and all kind of things. And one thing that I found that was interesting about it was in their study groups, they all were jockeying to like outline the law and so forth. And I really understand why you have to do that, because you got to be able to see in your mind's eye what is going on. Like when somebody calls into my show and they give me a scenario, the first thing that I picture in my mind is on what side of the fence is he talking about. If I'm getting a question about child support or a divorce, I know I'm on the private side. It's family law's private side. If I'm getting a constitutional question, I know I'm in the public side. If I'm getting a contract question, I know I'm in the private side. If I'm getting a criminal law question, I know I'm in the public side. You know, it's just as soon as they bring these topics to you, the first thing in your mind should be, is this public or private that we're talking about? Because that's how the law breaks down. And that's the first thing you have to do to understand what is going on and how to get yourself out of this situation. So I'm going to start with the breakdown of the law and explain this. Now, these words, I'll give you a little history behind this. I've been doing this approximately about 2 years, and I met an old man, and he had heard about me, and everybody was saying, hey, this guy's sharp or whatever. And he asked to see my paperwork. And I gave him some paperwork that I copied out of some of the books, like One Man Out, Cracking the Code, different things like that. And he looked at my paperwork probably for about, 15 seconds. And he tossed it to the side and he told me, you don't know any law. And I was offended by that. I was like, y'all don't know any law. What you talking about, man? I don't know any law. I've been in the courtroom. I know what to say in court. I back judges down. What are you talking about, man? I don't know any law. I was kind of like insulted by it, So then he asked me, did I know what an antinomy was? And I did know. So that's a contradiction in law. I had read it out of One Man Out. He had actually had the word in there. And when he kind of dropped it on me, it's been a word I'd already studied, and I kind of knew very well. He said, okay. He said, yeah, you're a sharp brother. Okay, I see you got your legalese down pretty good. He said, but you still don't know any law. So I went back and forth with this man for about 3 days. Every time we sit down to eat or anything like that, he started, first thing coming out of his mouth, you don't know anything, young blood. He was older than me, he was an older guy. And on the third day, he said it to me again. But, something in me said, humble yourself. And I bit my tongue and I said, okay, man, what is it that you want to show me? And he didn't spend a lot of time explaining anything to me. He just drew a diagram similar to the one that I'm about to show you. And he told me that I needed to go to the law library and start studying American jurisprudence. And I took the paper back and just looked at it. And I looked at it for about 3 months straight. Just kept looking at it and trying to make sense of what I was looking at, but I really couldn't. So the first thing I did was, if I'm going to understand this chart, the first thing I'm going to do is look up every word on it. I'd made that a practice. Always look up the words, because usually if you don't understand something, if you read a paragraph or something like that, and you don't understand what's being said, 9 times out of 10 is because there was a word in the paragraph that you did not know the definition. You have to make it a practice to look up every word in a sentence, and it's going to help build your vocabulary as well and enhance your reading skills. But you cannot pass over words you don't know the meaning of. So I started basically looking up all these words, and I started with natural law. And natural law was a subject I was already very familiar with. I'd already read a lot of treatises on the subject. In the public, they don't give it the treatment that it should be getting treated. They kind of approach it as some kind of theory or something like that, which they understand what natural law is. They're not fools. I don't think they got in the positions that they are not understanding natural law, but what I do believe is they don't want you to understand it. That's what it is. But natural law basically operates off 7 different principles, and they are vibration, correspondence, mentalism, which everything revolves around the mind, rhythm, polarity, cause and effect, and gender. And you'll see this also in your Bible in Proverbs 9:1, where it says, wisdom has built her house on 7, has hewn out her 7 pillars. And you see this going all the way back to Egypt, where they talk about these 7 pillars that everything in nature rests upon. And there were the 7 that I just named. You can read a book called The Rebellion that goes into that in much more detail. But everything starts with the laws of nature, because nature's not a respecter of persons. Everybody has to grasp whatever they're doing in harmony with nature, which is what these people do. These people who are drawing up these laws are not stupid people. They're very learned people. They know what they're doing, and they understand the different spheres of and operations of law, including natural law. So from natural law, we get something that is called positive law. And positive law just simply means man-made law. And they are the trustees of natural law. They're supposed to be. In other words, a person really shouldn't be in a leadership position if they don't know natural law, or for all the religious people that's out there, if they don't know the laws of God. Okay? How can you lead if you don't know the laws of God? How can you make good decisions if you don't know the laws of God? And I'm not approaching this from a religious point of view, because everybody who knows me, I'm not a religious man. What I'm speaking to you is scientific, because if natural law governs everything, then it should be important for you to know natural law. So that is a very, very important thing for you to know. And as trustees, they're trustees of natural law. That's why you hear kings say, I have a divine right of rulership. It's an understanding and knowing these laws that put you on the status and level of a king or a god, where you now qualify to be able to lead people, to govern people, and things of that nature. But you have to know what the laws are, because if you go against the laws, there's a corresponding effect with that may not be very